It feels like every year we talk about technology accelerating, but 2025, it feels different, not just incremental change.
Hmm.
We're really on the cusp of something, well, truly transformative. The question isn't if AI and automation will reshape business anymore.
Right. It's how deeply.
Exactly. And crucially, how do we keep everything secure in this new landscape?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. So today we're taking a deep dive into that interconnected world. Artificial intelligence, automation, and cybersecurity.
Hmm.
We'll be looking specifically at the key trends, the developments we anticipate for 2025 and, beyond.
Okay.
To guide us, we've gathered some really insightful sources. There's an opinion piece from Computer Weekly on AI business trends,
Good one.
an article on the future of cybersecurity from Tech Target, and also a couple of white papers from Slimmage
Uh,
getting into intelligent PC automation.
the practical side. Good.
Right. So our mission here is to really extract the most important insights, the nuggets that will help you understand how these powerful forces are shaping the business landscape. Let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
So, if we look at the big picture first, 2025 is really being positioned as, well, the year of AI for business.
You hear that phrase a lot now.
We do. And
Right.
we've already seen AI making these incredible leaps, haven't we? Presenting massive opportunities for growth. We're
Absolutely.
talking about intelligently automating those routine admin tasks, enhancing customer service interactions
Yeah, chatbots are getting much better.
and analyzing just vast amounts of data at speeds, at scales that were frankly impossible before.
And what's crucial to understand, I think, is that this rapid development isn't happening in a vacuum.
No, definitely not.
The regulatory environment is constantly trying to catch up, trying to adapt.
It feels like it's always a step behind.
It often is.
Yeah.
For AI to really flourish in 2025, there needs to be this supportive yet, carefully managed framework.
All right.
I mean, just consider the sheer volume of legislative activity. Over 120 bills related to AI currently before the U.S. Congress alone.
Wow, 120. That's a lot.
It is. And these efforts, they often build upon existing frameworks like the EU AI Act, the one that initially categorized AI systems by their risk rating.
Yes, the prohibited high risk, limited risk categories.
Exactly those. Prohibited high risk, limited risk, minimal risk groups.
Right.
But if we look towards 2025, we could see maybe a significant shift in this regulatory approach.
How so?
Well, new legislation might move towards classifying AI based more on its intended uses and its sort of fundamental properties, rather than just that blanket risk assessment.
More nuanced.
Potentially, yes. And
Yeah.
critically, there's going to be, I think, a substantial legislative focus on really robust data management.
Makes sense. Data is the fuel.
It is. Ensuring that as AI scales up, it doesn't compromise the security and privacy of sensitive business data, customer data. So this raises a pretty important question, doesn't it? How will businesses need to proactively adapt their data governance strategies to keep up with these demands?
That's a huge point about data governance. And speaking of adapting and companies leading the charge, Microsoft.
Oh, yeah. They're everywhere in AI right now.
Absolutely front and center. At their Ignite 2024 event, they made some pretty striking announcements.
Mhm.
One that really caught my eye was the new AI-powered interpreter feature in Microsoft Teams.
The real-time translation.
Yeah. Enabling real-time, multilingual communication. Just imagine the possibilities for, truly global communication collaboration.
It breaks down huge barriers.
Instantly. That's a powerful way AI fuels business growth right there.
Definitely.
But what's maybe even more compelling, though, is Microsoft's introduction of these new AI agents.
Agents, right. Different from assistants.
Exactly. A significant step forward from the AI assistants we're kind of used to.
Yeah.
These agents, they're designed to drive organizational optimization by actually, well, collaborating with workers.
Collaborating. Okay. How does that work?
They can be trained on an organization's specific knowledge base, right? So they can compile details for pitches, for presentations, that kind of thing.
Taking over some of the grunt work.
Precisely. Freeing up human workers to focus on more strategic, more valuable tasks. It's really about augmenting human capability, not just automating things away.
Exactly. And that concept of automated AI, especially trigger-based automation, that's set to really flourish.
Trigger-based, like if X happens, AI does Y.
Pretty much. Picture an email coming in, and it automatically triggers the AI system to, I don't know, digest the information, and draft a suitable response.
Okay, I can see that.
These AI systems will just seamlessly integrate into business processes, handling those routine admin tasks that, let's face it, often eat up human workers' time.
Yeah, the time sinks.
Right. This allows teams, across all levels of a business to engage more with customers, maybe innovate more, focus on that longer-term strategy. However, and this is a big however, this rise of automated AI also really underscores a critical need for responsible usage.
Ah, the flip side.
Always.
Mm.
Automation means AI could be exposed to confidential data, and without the right safeguards, it could learn from and potentially expose that data without authorization.
Oof, that's a major risk.
It is. Legislation will certainly play a key role here, but the responsibility also lies squarely with business leaders, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
To ensure AI adoption goes hand in hand with comprehensive education, it's vital to always include a human in the loop
Right, oversight.
and maintain full observability of these AI interactions.
Yeah.
You have to know what it's doing to prevent misuse, ensure ethical practice.
Okay, and that leads us neatly into the crucial process of actually training these AI models.
The AI boot camp, as the source called it.
Right. It's becoming clear that to prioritize accuracy and, mitigate these risks we just talked about, there's a significant shift happening in how this training works.
Tell me more.
Well, developers might synthesize their training data on large language models, LLMs, the huge networks you hear about,
Right, the giant ones.
and then train the actual AI system they're deploying on a small language model, an SLM,
a smaller, more focused model. Why?
to improve accuracy, apparently, and reduce the resource intensity, make it more efficient.
Okay, that makes sense. Less computationally expensive.
But as you can imagine, this adds layers of complexity, and it also poses specific risks.
Like what?
Well, we're talking about potential algorithmic bias being amplified, maybe incorrect activity, or even AI hallucination.
Ah, yes. When the AI just makes things up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It produces information as fact, but there's no supporting data. It's literally inventing things.
Which is obviously bad.
Very bad. If that happens, it's a clear sign something went wrong in the training process. So yeah, while 2025 will be a big year for refining AI training, businesses absolutely need to be aware of how their AI systems are being trained to avoid these really critical issues.
Okay. Shifting gears a bit. If we connect all this AI development to the broader picture of cybersecurity,
Yeah.
AI truly is a double-edged sword there, no question.
How so?
Well, on the negative side, cybercriminals. They've been leveraging AI and machine learning for years now. It's not new for them.
Right. They adopt tech quickly.
Very quickly. They're crafting increasingly sophisticated, customized phishing attacks.
Oh, convincing fakes.
Much more convincing. And deepfake video and audio that are, frankly, terrifyingly realistic.
Secret stuff.
And even more potent ransomware. These AI-generated attacks are just much harder for traditional security tech to detect
Why is that?
because of the AI's ability to personalize them. They seem far more legitimate, more believable, so they're more likely to succeed.
Ugh. Okay, so that's the bad news. What's the good news?
Well, the good news is organizations are rapidly catching up on the defensive side, too.
Okay.
Many modern security measures now employ AI themselves to strengthen authentication, access controls.
Using AI to fight AI.
Essentially, yes. To detect and analyze cyber threats and anomalies much more quickly, more accurately, and to automate responses to security incidents.
Faster reaction times.
Much faster. It means incidents can potentially be stopped quicker, significantly reducing damage, reducing recovery time.
Okay.
But this raises, again, an important question. How do organizations balance leveraging AI for defense while also training their own workforces to identify and counter these new sophisticated AI-powered threats?
Right, the human element again.
Absolutely crucial. Human
Psych-
oversight, human validation remain absolutely critical. You can't just automate it all away.
That's a really critical balance to strike, and this brings us to that persistent challenge in cybersecurity, the skills gap.
Ah, yes. The talent shortage,
Exactly. While some pundits, predict AI will just replace human workers across the board.
which seems unlikely anytime soon.
Right. The reality, especially in cybersecurity today, is that the field is incredibly vast. There are countless specialties. It's just impossible for one person to master it all.
Completely. It's too broad.
So what does this all mean for addressing this gap? What are companies doing?
Well, organizations seem to be looking at a combination of strategies,
Like?
using AI and other security automation, obviously, to reduce the workload on people, especially where the tech performs as well as, or maybe even better than, a human.
Automate the automatable?
Pretty much. They're also outsourcing some cybersecurity functions to third parties.
Specialized skills.
Exactly. Especially for those highly specialized skills needed only occasionally, like, say, deep forensic analysis after a breach.
Makes sense not to keep that in-house necessarily.
Right. And crucially, they're offering diverse skills building opportunities, training courses, team exercises, job shadowing, trying to grow their internal talent pool.
Investing in their own people.
Exactly. It's about building a more robust, integrated approach rather than just, waiting for that mythical perfect hire that probably doesn't exist.
The cybersecurity unicorn.
Precisely.
Okay. So looking ahead then, what about future threats? What should be top of mind?
Yeah, if we look ahead, this raises an important question about what's looming. Two significant ones really stand out in the research.
Okay.
First, quantum computing and post-quantum cryptography, or PQC.
Quantum, the big one.
The really big one. Researchers are pushing the boundaries hard. We don't know the exact timeline, right? Nobody does for sure.
Yeah.
But experts generally expect quantum computers could soon thwart today's standard encryption technologies. Just break them.
Which protects pretty much everything online.
Almost everything. When that threshold is crossed, any organization with a powerful enough quantum computer could potentially access all the data currently protected by today's algorithms,
Wow.
effectively creating what some people describe as the world's largest data breach ever.
That's chilling.
It is, which means organizations need to start preparing now. Not next year, now.
How? What can they do?
By inventorying their cryptographic usage, figuring out where and how they use encryption, and planning migration to standardized PQC algorithms.
So it's quantum algorithm.
Right. Waiting is incredibly dangerous because the harvest now, decrypt later threat is very real. Bad actors could be grabbing encrypted data today, just waiting for the day they can break it.
Okay, that's sobering. What's the second big threat?
Second, and maybe more immediate for many, is that most organizations desperately need to improve their response capabilities to large-scale incidents, especially ransomware.
Still a massive problem.
Huge. Attacking organizations with ransomware has become a full-fledged criminal business model. It's highly organized.
Right.
This means incident responders must work really closely, not just with security experts, but also system admins, legal counsel, public affairs. It's a team sport.
Gotta have everyone coordinated.
Absolutely. To ensure responses go smoothly, services get restored quickly. And it's critical to prepare to handle ransom demands before they are made. Develop playbooks, run exercises, have those cross-functional teams ready.
Preparation is key.
Cannot stress that enough.
That is a sobering thought, the need for such comprehensive preparation. And speaking of pervasive threats that can really cripple organizations, let's talk about supply chains.
Ah, yes. Often overlooked, but so critical.
Absolutely critical. Remember the SolarWinds incident a few years back?
Yeah, huge impact.
A really stark illustration, wasn't it? How a single company infiltrated by believed to be a nation-state actor could then provide compromised technology products or services to thousands of other companies.
And the ripple effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those thousands could then cascade into millions of affected organizations and individuals. It's this complex, interconnected web of risk.
It really shows how interdependent we all are.
It does. So what does this mean for businesses day to day? What should they be doing?
Well, it means recognizing these risks, first and foremost, and then demanding increased vigilance from vendors.
Holding suppliers accountable.
Yes. Holding them accountable for poor security practices, requiring more transparency into their security posture before renewing contracts, for instance.
Tightening up procurement.
Adding new, stricter requirements to procurements. It's really about raising awareness across the board and putting pressure on everyone in that chain to do better.
Because
Ultimately, your security is only as strong as the weakest link in your supply chain. It's that simple and that scary.
Okay, now let's maybe pivot from these macro trends and these big pervasive threats to a really concrete example of how AI and automation are solving actual real-world business problems, specifically for IT operations.
Okay, getting practical.
Getting practical. We're talking about something called intelligent PC automation.
Intelligent PC automation.
Yeah.
What's particularly impactful here, I think, is how it directly addresses the significant problems with traditional PC support.
Especially for remote workers, right?
Especially now, yes, with the growing remote workforce. Think about the hidden costs involved.
Like what?
Shipping PCs back and forth to repair centers, long delays, which translate directly into lost employee productivity. Big time.
Yeah, that downtime adds up fast.
It really does. Then there's that often frustrating self-service model where employees are basically told, okay, manually back up your data, reinstall your applications, reconfigure your settings yourself.
Which often doesn't go well.
Exactly. It often leads to more problems, more help desk calls, and ironically, higher overall costs in the end.
Hmm.
One of our sources actually cites an example where a traditional remote PC restoration could cost a business, wait for it, up to $4,225
Wow. Per machine.
per incident, yeah,
Yeah.
in direct and hidden costs because of all these inefficiencies.
That's a massive hit.
It's huge, a massive hit to productivity, to the budget that many companies don't even fully track.
That figure really puts the problem into perspective, doesn't it? So the solution then that these forward-thinking companies are deploying is this intelligent PC automation.
Okay, how does it work?
Well, these systems typically use an intelligent model, something like detect, decide, deploy.
Detect, decide, deploy.
Yeah. Detecting policy-triggered events like a security issue or maybe just a scheduled refresh, then applying AI-driven workflows to decide the correct automation path,
Okay.
and finally deploying the fix, which could mean rebuilding the entire operating system, restoring applications, enforcing security settings,
All automatically?
all automatically and all within minutes.
Minutes.
That's the claim. The core benefits here are really impactful. This technology allows IT teams to rebuild virtually any PC in minutes, the source says, often under 15 minutes,
15 minutes for a full rebuild.
even if the machine is offline, apparently.
Wow. Okay.
Which, as you can imagine, dramatically slashes downtime. The claim is over 80%. And it largely eliminates those costly, time-consuming desk visits by IT staff.
Huge efficiency gain.
Huge. So what does this all mean for the bottom line? Well, it's potentially a game changer for cost savings.
Right back to that $4,225 figure.
Exactly, potentially eliminating a significant portion of that cost per restoration compared to the old ways. By getting rid of shipping costs, drastically reducing direct IT labor, and just dramatically increasing operational efficiency and employee uptime.
Absolutely. And beyond just the efficiency and cost savings, this type of technology delivers critical security and compliance benefits too.
How so?
Well, things that are really difficult to achieve manually, consistently, at scale.
Like,
These systems automate security and compliance enforcement. They can ensure alignment with critical industry standards, things like SOC2 for data security, IPA for healthcare privacy, FIPS for federal info processing.
the important benchmarks.
Right. Ensuring data never has to leave the device during the process, providing full audit logs for everything. How else do you achieve that kind of automated, consistent control across thousands of endpoints?
Good point. Very difficult manually.
Very. And they can also instantly eliminate ransomware and malware by enabling that rapid system recovery we talked about.
Yeah.
Full system rebuilds, essentially wiping the slate clean and restoring a known, good, secure state in minutes.
Okay, that's powerful against ransomware.
Very powerful. And what's also fascinating is the seamless support this provides for remote workers.
Right. No more shipping boxes back and forth.
Exactly. PCs can be recovered, rebuilt on-site remotely, or even completely offline if needed. It just eliminates that whole logistical nightmare. These solutions offer essentially total endpoint control and instant recovery across potentially thousands of devices, even the source mentioned, over 85 countries,
Global reach.
which is why they're trusted by highly regulated industries, you know?
Yeah.
It's about making IT operations not just reactive, but truly proactive and resilient against all sorts of disruptions.
Okay, so as we start to wrap up this deep dive then, it's really clear, isn't it? This powerful confluence of AI, automations, cybersecurity, it's not just a collection of tech buzzwords or some futuristic concept anymore.
No, it's here now.
It's here now. These are fundamental shifts that are redefining how businesses operate, how they innovate, how they secure themselves right now.
Definitely.
And importantly, this isn't just a game for the big players, is it? Small and medium-sized businesses are absolutely staking their claim, strategically adopting and investing in AI and automation.
They have to, really, to
Yeah.
compete.
Yeah.
And if we connect this back to the bigger picture, what does all this mean for you listening?
Yeah, the takeaway.
It means AI, automation, cybersecurity. These are not fleeting trends. These are areas of significant long-term investment and transformation.
Here to stay.
Absolutely. It's crucial for businesses and really for you, as someone navigating this landscape, to think about the proactive steps necessary.
Like what?
Well, whether it's deeply understanding AI's current capabilities and its future ones,
Yeah.
or preparing for those, frankly, existential quantum threats we discussed,
Right.
or maybe automating IT operations for both security and efficiency.
Hmm.
These are the domains where future success is really going to be forged.
Hmm. A lot to think about.
Indeed. Which leads to maybe one final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
As AI becomes ever more ingrained in everything we do, and as automated systems handle an increasing number of critical tasks, how do we ensure that the undeniable convenience, the speed, the efficiency? How do we make sure that never compromises the core human values of ethical practice and ultimately human oversight?